So I recently completed Crash Bandicoot 2 N-Tranced, and I really want to talk about it with you guys. But first, our current goal is to collect, beat, and 100% every Crash Bandicoot game, and Crash N-Tranced just so happened to be our 9th game in the series. This game was released in 2004, and it was only released for the Game Boy Advance. This game is the second addition to the Game Boy Advance, following Crash Bandicoot: A Huge Adventure, which in a previous video, which I'll link in the description, I played and reviewed that game as well, where I rated it at 8.2 out of 10. So I had a higher expectations sort of for this game before I even started my playthrough. Now the current question at hand, is Crash Bandicoot 2 N-Tranced a good game? Well, let's dig into that real quick. This game follows the failure of Dr. Cortex's recent failure to shrink the Earth. After multiple failures, I guess he finally decided, Uka Uka was like, all right, let's go in a different direction here. And he calls Entropy to the starting lineup and benched Cortex in this game, which is a rarity in the series. But after peering into the future and seeing himself with the Bandicoots, he decides that the only way to defeat him is by joining them. Makes sense, right? He then gets the assistance of N-Tranced, whose ability is to hypnotize, and they begin to teleport the Bandicoots over and hypnotizing them one by one. Luckily for Crash, Aku Aku saved him from being teleported, and instead brought in fake Crash, which, hey, glad he's finally in the game. But Entropy now has a team of Bandicoots, and it's up to Crash to stop and save his friends. Now, in order to get 101% in this game, you have to collect all the box gems, crystals, relics, and gem shards. To save time, I will only glance over these if they are relevant. There are 4 different warp rooms here and 3 different levels for bonuses if you collect all the gem shards. We start off in a level that is half playing and half storytelling. The story, which we already discussed, while the playing is the most intro style level I have ever played. It just has a bunch of information in terms of controls and movement, which is extremely nice, especially if you never played the previous one. This is extremely easy though with no enemies, so you can just breeze right through this. The first warp room is protected by Crunch. Our first level here is Prince of Persia. It is our first Arabian themed level. I really enjoy the type of enemies you encounter here, and the soundtrack is always booming. But since this is the first warp room, you can pass through here rather quickly. Our next level is Lagoony Tunes, which is an epic name. This is our first wakeboarding level in the game. I'm not a huge fan of this level theme. I did really enjoy the underwater levels in the Huge Adventure, but I can't really be mad at the game for making changes. But this one just sucked in my opinion. In this one, you're being chased by a shark and seagulls who can snag you. But as long as you don't get stuck in the weeds, you should be fine. Our next level is another ball level. I guess they just plan on incorporating all of these, since we've had them since Wrath of Cortex now. But the level design really gave me the vibes of Season of Ice with Spyro, just with the borders, which gave me some serious PTSD. But we keep moving into Pharaoh's Funhouse. This is our first Egyptian level. Love how they incorporate all the different cultures into these games. It includes crocodiles, snakes, and mummies. The crocodiles low-key took me out a lot here. I'd be zooming through and they would just jump out of nowhere. It's like playing a scary game with jump scares at different points. Our last level here is Runaway Rug. This gives us our first chance of riding the magic carpet, which I really struggled with in this game. For some reason, it's just the easiest things that just always throw me off and cause me to struggle. We then proceed to our first boss fight against our old pal Crunch. Coming into this, I was a tad bit nervous. He caused me a lot of trouble in the Wrath of Cortex, but his boss fight was not too concerning. As long as you dodge the nitro boxes, you can easily survive. You just have to wait until he hits the nitro boxes, then you can swoop in and hit him. After defeating him, he snapped out of the mind control and rejoins your team. If you are enjoying this video so far, please consider dropping a like and or a sub to the channel. Currently, most of the people watching these videos are not subscribed, and subscribing to the channel and showing some support can help the channel improve immensely. It can help the quality of the videos and the games being collected and played. Thank you guys again for watching, and let's return to the video. We can then proceed to the second warped room. Our first level here is Tiki Torture. With these levels, it just takes a little bit of patience to survive. As long as you move slowly, you can easily time your jumps to avoid the lava being shot out towards you. Our second level here is Hoppin' Coffins. It's our second Egyptian themed level. This one has the same style, but just slightly harder than the first one. Our next level here is Barrel Roll, and you get the ability to play this one as Crunch. This one is a little bit harder. It has green barrels that will just come out of nowhere, and I don't know if it's just harder playing on my monitor than it is the Game Boy, but I could never really tell where those barrels were, and they would just knock me out and just, make me restart, which caused a lot of frustration. So I didn't really like this one, to be honest. Our next level is Flock Full of Seagulls, and this is our second wakeboarding level. This one is also much harder than the previous one, but with patience you can survive. Our last level here is Magma Mania. It reintroduces us to the Helipack feature, which I've really enjoyed on the Game Boy games. Finally, after gathering all the crystals here, we can advance to our second boss, which just so happens to be Coco. She's in some weird machine of hers that flies over top of you while you're in the Helipack feature. You have to dodge her attacks and her laser. You can catch her recharging and can hit her when her shield is offline. This one was much harder in my opinion than Crunch. After defeating her, she rejoins your team. The third warp room starts us off with another Coco level. This one being Run from the Sun. This one is pretty unique. Using her rocket tug contraption, she is trying to escape the off-the-camera fireball. There are many different nuances that can cause you trouble in this level. I really do love the creativity for a new level design though. Our next level is Mr. Lava Lava. These levels with the lava shooting at you drive me crazy. If I die once, I immediately try to move too fast and always die. It's just a cycle of frustration. But after completing this one, we move on to Slip and Slide and Sphinx, which is another Egyptian level. This reminds me a lot of Crash Warped with the water, but in this one, it's less annoying. Overall, a really fun level with a bunch of different obstacles. We then have another wakeboarding level in Waterlogged. This one took multiple attempts for me. It made me less of a fan of these wakeboarding levels. Just felt really long and kept dying, and it was so repetitive. Sounds like a me problem though, I know. Our next level here is now Istanbul. God, I definitely butchered that, I apologize. This was by far my least liked level. As stated earlier, I hate the magic carpet portions of these levels. For some reason, I struggle on these, as well as the movement from rope to rope. Again, sounds like a me problem. After completing these, we got our opportunity to finally fight against Crash Bandicoot. Wait, I'm Crash. We finally get to go against fake Crash. I've heard so much about this character and so much lore. I'm happy to finally see him. This one was more of the unique and mind-boggling boss fights I've had so far since starting this channel. You're essentially fighting a mirror of yourself, so you have to be patient and find different platforms that can damage him and not yourself. This took a while to figure out, but was stimulating enough to where I wasn't getting frustrated. Really neat boss fight. After defeating him, you can have him join your team, but he is not playable, unfortunately. Our final warp room starts us off with Rock to Kasaba. I lied. I said earlier a particular level was my least favorite. This one takes the prize. Just a super long level with many things going on, and just like I mentioned earlier, I was not a fan of the magic carpet and kept dying with it. It just felt like it wouldn't shoot straight and I just kept missing boxes. But who cares? Our next level here is Spaced Out. By far the hardest to get the time relic on. It just felt never ending. Still a really cool concept, but maybe don't make it 3-man song. We then get Rocks Can Roll, which is our final ball level. It's just as annoying as the last one. Still really hard to tell where the barrels are. I am not sure if it's easier on the Game Boy screen. Like I said earlier, it could just be harder on my monitor. We then move along to Eruption Disruption, which was actually a really enjoyable level for me. It was tough, but it was very stimulating. You're on the helipack for a good portion of it and dodging different nitro boxes throughout. Finally, we had our final level here, King 2 Uncommon, which felt like it was over before it began. Probably one of the fastest levels to finish. So that means I really enjoyed it. We get our chance to fight against Mr. N-Tranced now. He starts off jumping around and shooting a chain at you that gets stuck. If you dodge it successfully, you can then hit him to reduce his health. After doing it 3 times, he then breaks out and becomes a floating egghead, a little Humpty Dumpty looking guy. You have to dodge his attacks and hit him into a corner where Fake Crash will drop lava on him. Fake Crash is not playable, but he does come in clutch. After defeating him, we can now go after him. We proceed to his lair, where there is 3 different unlockable levels. These can be unlocked by collecting all of the gem shards. Our first level here is 101 Arabian Nights. Just to preference this, I really did enjoy all 3 of these levels. You're basically just running around in a very similar design level like the previous Arabian level. It's a fast-paced level with multiple different hazards. Our next one is Firewalker. In this one, you're dodging the lava pits a lot, but you get to use the helipack, which makes it more enjoyable. And lastly, you have Wild Nile Ride. This one was a tad bit tougher and a little bit more frustrating, but I did enjoy it. So many easy ways to die and so many different ways to go, which makes it much tougher collecting all the boxes. After collecting all the box gems and color gems, we can now fight Entropy. He shoots low and high, and you have to dodge his attacks. There are 3 different areas you can fight him in, a total of 9 hits to take him down, which felt like a lot. But with patience, you can easily defeat him. Defeating him gives you the running shoes, which makes the next part much easier. Using the newly acquired running shoes, you can now begin to go after the time relics in this game. In order to get to 101%, you have to platinum each, which is easier said than done. It took me a few days to accomplish this, and it might have been the hardest game yet to get the time relics. After gathering them all, you can go and repeat the beating you just gave Entropy and beat the game. Now that you have either been refreshed on the contents of this game or introduced to it for the first time, what do you think? Was it a good game? My opinion is that it's always hard to follow up a good game. I gave The Huge Adventure an 8.2 rating, and in hindsight, it could have been higher. I thought the storyline in this game was super unique though. Having all of your friends turn against you was a plot I wasn't ready for. And as much as I love Cortex, it was nice seeing him benched for a game for a different villain. I thought Entropy and N-Tranced played the villain role well in this game. Just like The Huge Adventure, I really did like the graphics in this one. I thought it was top tier, especially for the Game Boy Advance. And like every other Crash game, the soundtrack goes crazy. Also nice that you can use Crunch and Coco, even though it was limited. I was quite sad you couldn't use Fake Crash, but it was nice to finally get to see him introduced. They did introduce a lot of new features in this game. Some I thought was awesome and some I wasn't a huge fan of. I did not enjoy wakeboarding very much, nor did I enjoy the magic carpet levels at all. I did think the Coco space levels were extremely neat though. I also believe they made getting the time relics a little too hard, especially if you have to get all the platinum relics to get 101%. With that being said, my overall rating for this game is a 7 out of 10. I just felt more frustrated playing this game than happy most of the time. Once again, that could just be massive user error. If I graded this as a test though, I would have scored it 70%, and C's get degrees, baby. It wasn't the best title so far in the series, but it definitely wasn't the worst. Could just be biased since I really did enjoy The Huge Adventure and had higher expectations. But what do you think about this game? Did you enjoy playing it or thought it looked neat? I am super excited for our next game in the series though, Crash Bandicoot Twin Sanity. We will finally be going back to the PS2, and I am stoked for that. If you missed it, we just recently reviewed the 8th game in the series, Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart, which is also a sequel. Be sure to check this one out as well. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.